Hi friends, it's Miss Laura. Today I'm going to read you a Halloween story. This one is called The Hallo-Wiener. Did you know that wiener is another name for hot dog? It's kind of silly. But this book is about a dog who kind of looks like a hot dog, like a wiener. Let's see what the story's about. The Hallo-Wiener by Dave Pilkey. He's the one that wrote the story. There once was a dog named Oscar, who was half a dog tall and 1.5 dogs long. Look at that. He's very short, but he's long. He looks kind of like a hot dog. Because of his unusual shape and size, the other dogs made fun of him. Wiener dog, they called, and Oscar didn't like it one bit. That's not very nice, is it? They're making fun of him because he looks like a hot dog. Oscar's mother was no help either. Every morning when the other dogs walked off to obedience school, Oscar's mother stood in the front yard waving and calling, "Farewell, my little Vienna sausage." And the other dogs laughed and laughed. There's Oscar going to school, and there's the other dogs laughing at him because he looks like a hot dog. Most of the time, Oscar was upset by all of this, but not today. Today was Halloween. And Oscar was thinking about other things. All day long at obedience school, Oscar dreamed about Halloween night, about trick-or-treating, and about scary costumes. There they are at school. And here's Oscar. He's thinking about Halloween. When Oscar got home, he ran upstairs to start working on his scary costume. But when he got to his room, there was a surprise waiting for him. He's going upstairs, and in his room, "Happy Halloween, my sausage link," said Oscar's mother. "I made you a costume to wear for trick-or-treating." Oh, there's a box there, and Oscar's mommy made him a costume. Let's see what it looks like. When Oscar saw the costume, he nearly fainted. It was a giant hot dog bun. Look at that. It was complete with mustard, and guess who was supposed to fit in the middle? There's the hot dog bun, and Oscar's supposed to wear that for Halloween. Now he's really going to look like a hot dog. Oscar did not want to hurt his mother's feelings, so he decided to wear the silly costume. He doesn't want to dress like a wiener, like a hot dog. That night, all the dogs on the block gathered to show off their costume. Everyone was looking pretty scary. There's his dog friends in their costumes. Then Oscar showed up looking quite frank. There's Oscar. He looks like a hot dog. When the other dogs saw Oscar in his silly costume, they howled with laughter. "Look at Oscar," they cried. "He really is a wiener dog." Poor Oscar. He's so embarrassed. Wiener dog," laughed the other dogs, and they ran off to go trick-or-treating. Oscar tried to keep up with the dogs, but his silly costume kept slowing him down. See, now it's nighttime. Here's his friends going trick-or-treating, and here's Oscar. He's wearing that hot dog costume, and it's hard for him to keep up with his friends. All night long, the other dogs hounded every treat they could get their paws on. There they are trick-or-treating and taking all the candy. By the time Oscar got to each house, there were no treats left. Aww. He's going trick-or-treating too, but there's no candy left. The other dogs took it all. Soon, trick-or-treating was over, and the dogs walked home past a spooky graveyard. Suddenly, a horrible hissing sound filled the air. The dogs stopped in their tracks. Uh-oh, they are scared. They heard a noise coming from the graveyard. Those dogs are scared. Then, out of the graveyard rose a ghastly monster. The dogs screamed for their lives. They dropped their treats, and they ran into a nearby pond. Look, something's coming. and it made a noise, and all the dogs got scared and ran away right to the water. Let's see what happens. The monster moved closer. "Please don't eat us," cried the dogs. The monster yowled and hissed. "Boo-hoo-hoo," sobbed the dogs. They are so scared they all jumped in the water to get away. The monster jumped up and down. "Somebody saved us," yelled the dogs. Then somebody did come. It was Oscar. Because Oscar is so short, he saw something that the other dogs hadn't seen. Oh, look, he can see way down low because he's so short, and he sees 2 little paws and a tail. I don't think that's a monster. "That's no monster," cried Oscar, and with a loud bark, Oscar waddled to the rescue. Oscar chomped and tugged with all his might. Look, he's pulling the costume off of that monster. I don't think there's a monster in there. Rip! And standing there in the moonlight were a couple of cats. There's no monster, just some cats. They were dressed up in a costume to scare the dogs. "Help!" cried the cats. "We're being attacked by a giant frankfurter." Frankfurter's another name for a hot dog, too. So they say they're being attacked by a giant frankfurter, and they all ran off screaming through the graveyard. There's Oscar, and he scared the cats away. The dogs in the pond had seen the whole thing, and now it was their turn to be embarrassed. "We were chased by a couple of cats," they moaned. But Oscar was a good friend. He jumped into the water, and he swam out to the other dogs. Oscar's silly costume made a great life raft. All the dogs climbed on. "All aboard," Oscar called, and he doggy paddled back to shore. Look, there's his doggy costume, and all his friends are sitting on top of him, and he's swimming back to the land to get them out of the water. When they got back to dry land, all the dogs shared their Halloween treats with Oscar. Wasn't that nice? Look, the dogs that got all the candy, they're sharing it with Oscar. Because Oscar had been so brave, the dogs changed his nickname from Wiener Dog to Hero Sandwich. And from that night on, nobody ever made fun of Oscar again. He looks very happy now, doesn't he? Those dogs, they were making fun of him and his costume and calling him a Wiener Dog. But in the end, he saved them, didn't he? He scared away the cats and pulled the costume off that monster and got them out of the water. And now they're all friends and everybody's happy. Happy Halloween! Bye!